Hello students, welcome to the session 4 of chapter 4 of your first PUC, that is Animal Kingdom. In the first 3 sessions we had discussed about some of the characters regarding different phylums and we have initiated studying about phylum. We have covered Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes as well as Annelida. So we will come to the next particular phylum, that is phylum Arthropoda. When it comes to Arthropoda, arthro and poda are the two different terms representing this phylum, whereas arthro means jointed and poda means appendages. So the body of Arthropoda contains jointed appendages, that is why the name Arthropoda is given to this particular phylum. When it comes to Arthropoda, Arthropoda is one of the largest phylum if you see in animal kingdom. Almost around 2/3 of the earth's population, organism population has this Arthropoda. So if you see, if I pick handful of organisms, maybe 10 handful of organisms, out of which 8 organisms will be Arthropoda. That high is the number of Arthropoda in the earth. When it comes to what are the organisms which belongs to this Arthropoda, it will be insects. Insects are the major organisms which come under phylum Arthropoda. When it comes to the organization or body organization in case of Arthropoda, these have organ system level of organization. They are triploblastic in nature, bilaterally symmetrical as well as these are coelomic organisms. So these arthropods are having organ system level of organization. These are bilaterally symmetrical. These have triploblastic arrangement of embryonic layer and are coelomates. That is how the organization of body is present in arthropods. Arthropods have a special outer covering, that is what we call exoskeleton. They have a special outer protective covering, that is what we term exoskeleton, and that is made of chitin. The component which is present in the exoskeleton will be chitin. So we call it chitinaceous protective exoskeleton, which is restricted to the arthropods. When it comes to Arthropoda, in Arthropoda the organism is having the arrangement of body in such a way that it has a head, thorax, and the lower part is called abdomen. The body of any of the insect, if you see, it contains of a head, thorax as well as abdomen. In the thoracic region, they have the jointed appendages. Either it will be legs, and few of the insects also have wings which are attached to the thoracic region itself. That too, in the dorsal region of the thoracic part, they have the wings which help in lifting their body. So in together, the body of the Arthropoda contains or includes a head, the middle part is the thorax as well as the abdomen. Next, when it comes to the important vital organs of the arthropods, when it comes to respiration in case of arthropods takes place by, it depends on organisms, that is for few of the organisms, or spiders they have different type, or if you see cockroaches they have different types, if you see different organisms they have different types of respiration. So it includes book lungs, book gills and tracheal system. These are the different types of respiratory system present in different insects in case of arthropod. So respiration might takes place through book lungs or book gills or through tracheal system. Next one is about circulation. Circulation is open type of circulation. So circulation here is open type, that means the blood doesn't flow within the capillaries or vessels, instead they are open into the common space which is present in their body, that means the cells are bathed in the body fluid. So the circulation here is open. Next is sense organs. Sense organs include antenna, eyes. So in eyes they are of two different types, either simple or compound. Simple eyes means a single structure which is helping in vision, whereas when it comes to compound eye, it is made up of multiple simple eyes. You might have seen this in honeybees or in Musa domestica, that is nothing but housefly. So when it comes to compound eyes, it is made up of multiple simple eyes, whereas simple eyes is a single structure. So here the sense organs will be antenna which helps in receiving the, or these are the receptors of certain signals. So antenna, eye which may be a simple as well as compound eyes. Statocyst. These statocysts help in balancing the body while the organisms undergo locomotion or else which helps in flying. So here statocysts are called balancers or which helps in balancing the body. This come under sense organ. Next one is the excretory system or excretion. Excretion takes place through Malpighian tubules. Excretion takes place through Malpighian tubules. Malpighian tubules are the organ system which undergoes the process of excretion. Next is about the reproduction. So arthropods are dioecious in nature. That means the sexes are separate. You can easily identify a male as well as a female. So normally when it comes to dioecious nature in arthropods, the females will be quite larger compared to the males. So these are dioecious in nature. They undergo sexual reproduction. When it comes to their fertilization, fertilization is internal and their development is direct in few cases. From the young one directly adult can be emerging out, or indirect, that is it includes larval stage in their development. So these organisms are normally oviparous in nature. So once again, when it comes to the reproduction in case of arthropods, these are dioecious in nature. That means you can easily identify a male and a female. It can be easily identified or separated. Females will be larger compared to males. These undergo sexual reproduction. Fertilization in this is internal fertilization, and when it comes to development, there will be either direct development or indirect development, and these are oviparous in nature. Oviparous means these are egg laying organisms. So either they, from this egg a young one emerges out which will be similar to that of adult, or from the egg they undergo the larval stage, pupal stage, and then the adult comes out. So that is about phylum Arthropoda. So once again to discuss, the name Arthropoda means it contains, or the organisms include jointed appendages. This Arthropoda phylum includes all the insects which are present in the whole earth. So almost 2/3 of the earth is covered with this phylum Arthropoda organisms. It includes insects which has either flying capacity or locomotory capacity. So when it comes to the Body organization, they are organ system organized, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomic organisms. And here the organisms or the arthropods have a special type of exoskeleton which is made up of chitin. The body of the insects contains a head, thorax as well as abdomen. Thorax includes, in the ventral region they have the legs or appendages, or in the dorsal region they will be having wings which help in flying. When it comes to the vital organs, respiration takes place through book lungs, book gills or tracheal system. It is different for different organisms. Circulation is open without any capillaries or vessels. Sense organs include antenna which is present in the head, even the eye is present in the head. Eyes may be of two different types, a simple type or else the complex or compound type which contains multiple simple eyes. One more sense organ will be the statocyst which helps in balancing the body. Excretion takes place through the Malpighian tubules. When it comes to the reproduction, in case of arthropods, these are dioecious in nature, undergoing sexual reproduction. The fertilization is internal and the development is either direct or indirect. These organisms are oviparous in nature, that is egg laying in nature. Next we will study about some of the examples for this particular phylum. When it comes to arthropoda examples, here some of the examples which are of economic importance will be Apis, that is honeybee, Bombyx, that is silkworm, and Laccifer, that is lac insect. Some of the vectors which causes diseases in human host, that will be Anopheles, Culex and Aedes. All these are mosquito examples. When it comes to gregarious pest, that is a pest which causes diseases to some of the agricultural plants, that will be Lacosta or locust. Living fossil will be Limulus, or it is commonly called king crab. Apart from this one, you can also give prawn, scorpion, butterflies, grasshoppers, etc. as examples for phylum Arthropoda. After phylum Arthropoda, next is phylum Mollusca. When it comes to phylum Mollusca is the second largest phylum in the animal kingdom. First largest phylum will be the Arthropoda, second largest will be the Mollusca. These mollusk organisms may be terrestrial or aquatic in nature. The aquatic includes both the freshwater as well as marine water organisms. These have organ system level of organization. Again, these are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomates. So the organization of this body in case of mollusk will be organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic in nature, as well as these will be coelomates. When it comes to the mollusca, they have a special particular character, that is presence of a exoskeleton or a protective covering which is made of calcium, that is why it is called calcareous shell. They have a outer protective shell which is made up of calcium because mollusks have a very soft body. When it comes to the body of mollusk, these are unsegmented. These are having unsegmented body with a distinct head. They have a proper head which can be distincted from the, or which can be easily separated from the rest part of the body. So they have a very soft body. To protect this very soft body, they have a protective shell which is made up of calcium, which is called calcareous shell. ಬಾಡಿ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಔಟರ್ ಕವರಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಅನ್ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟೆಡ್. ಆರ್ಥ್ರೋಪೋಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೆಡ್, ಥೊರಾಕ್ಸ್, ಎಬ್ಡಮನ್ ಅಂತ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಅನ್ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಅನ್ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಹೆಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಅನ್ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಬಾಡಿ ವಿತ್ ಅ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ಹೆಡ್. ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ unsegmented body, it includes a muscular foot, a visceral hump, this visceral hump contains of most of the vital organs. So if you imagine that visceral hump is like this, ಈ ತರ visceral hump ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಟಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ಗೆ, ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ದ visceral hump there is a thin layer of skin which is called a mantle. Outside the visceral hump there is a thin skin layer which is called mantle. ಹಂಪ್ನ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಥಿನ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮ್ಯಾಂಟಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಂಟಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಸರಲ್ ಹಂಪ್ ಮಧ್ಯ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್. ಆ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಟಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾವಿಟಿ. ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಂಟಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾವಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಥಿನ್ ಫೆದರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ which are gills. So this gills help in respiration as well as excretion. So once again to discuss, in the body of the unsegmented body of the mollusk, they have a hump like structure which contains of vital organs which is called visceral hump. Above the visceral hump there is a thin skin like layer which is called mantle. Between the mantle and visceral hump there is a space which is called mantle cavity. In this mantle cavity there is a feather like structure which are called gills. Function of this gill is respiration as well as excretion. So that is about the body of the mollusk. When it comes to head, head includes sensory organs which are called tentacles. In the head it contains sensory organs called tentacles which are very sensory. You might have seen any snail which have two outgrowths. If you touch one they will be retractile, that means pulled back. These are sensory in nature, that is why these are having tentacles in their head region. Next, when it comes to the mouth region have file like structures called rasping organ. Mouth have file like structure, that is serrated structure, which are called rasping organ, and they help in feeding. They help in feeding, and in together these are called radula. These are restricted to phylum mollusk. In the mouth they have serrated file like structure called rasping organ which helps in feeding, which is termed radula. That is about the mouth of the mollusk. When it comes to reproduction, these are dioecious in nature, having sexual reproduction, oviparous and indirect development. So once again, to get a clear idea about second largest phylum, that is mollusk. So mollusca, these have either terrestrial living organisms or aquatic organisms. Aquatic organisms may be living in fresh water or marine water. Body organization is organ system level, bilaterally symmetrical body, triploblastic embryonic layer as well as coelomic organisms. When it comes to the special character, they have a outer hard protective covering which is made of calcium, which is called calcareous shell. Why? Because they have a very soft body. So the body here is unsegmented unlike arthropods, and a distinct head can be identified. In this unsegmented body, they have a muscular foot and a visceral hump. Visceral hump includes most of the vital organs, and above this visceral hump there is a thin skin layer which is termed mantle. Mantle and visceral hump have a space in between which is termed mantle cavity. This contains a feather-like structure called gills which helps in respiration as well as excretion. When it comes to the mouth here has file-like structure called rasping organ which helps in feeding, and in together this is termed radula which is restricted to the mouth. When it comes to the reproduction in case of mollusk, these are dioecious in nature, produce eggs, that is oviparous, and here the development will be indirect. Now we will study some of the examples for phylum Mollusca. So some of the examples for mollusca will be Pila, commonly called apple snail, Sepia, commonly called cuttlefish, pink tada, pearl oyster muttu produce ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು, loligo, that is squid, octopus, that is devilfish, Ephlyscia, that is commonly called sea hare, Dentalium, that is tusk shell, which means they have similar structure as that of elephant tusk. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆನೆಯ ದಂತದ ತರ ಇದರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಟಸ್ಕ್ ಶೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And Chaetoplura, that is commonly called chiton. These are the few examples for phylum Mollusca. Next phylum is phylum Echinodermata. Echinoderma, it is commonly called organisms which have spiny body because they have a particular type of endoskeleton which is made up of calcium called calcareous ossicles. That is why the name spiny body is given to Echinoderma, or it is also called Echinodermata. Echinoderma is commonly called spiny body because of the endoskeleton. So endoskeleton means it is a protective covering which is present within the body. So this endoskeleton is called ossicles and they are made up of calcium. So you can commonly call them calcareous ossicles. When it comes to the body organization, these are mostly marine, having organ system level of body organization, but here the symmetry varies. That is, in young they have bilateral symmetrical body and in adult they become radially symmetrical. These are triploblastic and are coelomates. That is about the body organization in case of Echinodermata. Next one is digestion. Digestion is complete with the organism having mouth which is placed in the lower and ventral region, whereas anus, it is present in the upper and dorsal region. As it contains both the openings for consumption of food and removal of the waste, it is having a complete digestive system. Next very important component or the organ which is present in Echinodermata, that will be the water vascular system. This water vascular system, it does multiple functions. That is, it helps in capture, it helps in transport of food, it helps in locomotion and respiration. So water vascular function does the function of multiple things, that is capturing of food, transport of food within the body, locomotion as well as respiration. When it comes to excretion, it is completely absent in case of echinoderma. Excretion process is absent. Water vascular system itself does this function by removing the waste to the body surface. Next, when it comes to reproduction, these are dioecious in nature. They undergo sexual reproduction. So, fertilization is external and the development will be indirect in echinoderma. Once again, to discuss the body structure, when it comes to echinoderma, these are commonly called spiny bodied organisms because they have a protective endoskeleton. ತನ್ನ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ಪೈನಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಪೈನಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಎಂಡೋಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟನ್ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಬಾಡಿಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ. ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಶಿಯಂ ಇಂದ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಸಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ದೇರ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ಮರೈನ್, ಉಪ್ಪು ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿ ವೇರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಂಗ್ ಒನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೈಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಡಲ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಡಿಯಲ್ ಸಿಮೆಟ್ರಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಿಪ್ಲೋಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಇನ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಸೀಲೋಮೇಟ್ಸ್. When it comes to digestion, they have a complete type of digestive system with both openings, that is mouth and anus. Mouth ಮತ್ತೆ anus ಎರಡು ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಇದನ್ನ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೌತ್ ಲೋವರ್ ವೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು, ಏನಸ್ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಡಾರ್ಸಲ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲ್ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. When it comes to the important multiple function carrying system, that will be water vascular system. ಈ water vascular system ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಫುಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಲೊಕೊಮೋಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಈ ವಾಟರ್ ವ್ಯಾಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Along with which excretion is completely absent in echinoderma. Reproduction, it is dioecious in nature, undergoes sexual reproduction, fertilization is external and the development here is indirect, including free swimming larval stages. Now we'll study few of the examples of echinodermata. Examples will be Asterias, that is starfish, Echinus, that is commonly called sea urchin, Cucumaria, commonly called sea cucumber, and Ophiuria, that is commonly called brittle star. These are the few examples for echinoderma. Next phylum will be Hemichordata. When it comes to Hemichordata, initially it was included as a subphylum under Chordata, but now it is separately placed. When it comes to Hemichordata, it is smallest phylum which includes worm-like organisms. These are worm-like organisms which are marine, having organ system level of organization. These are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomates. So these include worm-like marine organisms with organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and coelomic organisms. When it comes to the body of hemichordate, it includes anterior called proboscis, the middle part called collar, and the last posterior part, that is called the trunk. In together, the body here is cylindrical. So when it comes to the structure of the body, it is having a cylindrical body with anterior proboscis and the middle collar and the posterior trunk. When it comes to vital organs, here circulation is open, respiration takes place through gills, excretion takes place through a gland called proboscis gland, and reproduction here is sexual. The organisms are dioecious in nature which undergo external fertilization, and the development here is indirect. So once again, to discuss about the smallest phylum, that is Hemichordata, which includes worm-like organisms which are marine in nature, which are organ system level of organization, bilateral symmetrical triploblastic coelomates. These have a cylindrical body with the anterior proboscis, middle collar and a posterior trunk. These have circulation which is open, respiration takes place through gills, excretion through the proboscis gland. They are dioecious in nature, undergoing sexual reproduction, and here the fertilization is external with indirect development including the larval stage. Examples for this Hemichordata will be Balanoglossus as well as Saccoglossus. So this Hemichordata was not initially a separate phylum, but instead it was a subphylum under Chordata, but due to few of the characters which is restricted to Hemichordata only, which is not having any chordatal characters, that is why this is kept separate under non-chordates as a separate phylum. So that's all for today's class. In today's class we did study about 4 different phylums. The phylum included along with their body characters as well as few of the examples. The phylum today we did discuss were Arthropoda, first largest phylum, second largest phylum, that is Mollusca, Echinodermata, and finally the Hemichordata. Next session onwards we will be discussing about the phylum Chordata as well as few of the classes including under phylum Chordata. Thank you.